Hi, it's me again. It's June 7th, 2025. Almost forgot the year there. Sorry. Okay, we're going back to the end of 2014. Well, a couple weeks, maybe a month or two before Christmas. Not much more. It's hard to remember. It's celebration time, Christmas and all the holidays and everything are coming up and everybody's happy. I am still dealing with my situations with getting the dancers and the massage girls to reunite and get them to coexist and have a good life together. It's not working out well. But anyway, so what happens at this particular time is all the girls are going to this hypnotist show. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. I didn't want to go. I'm busy. I'm not interested in this kind of thing. I think it's fun. I think it's enjoyable. It's a form of entertainment. And, I believe that people can be hypnotized. But as about a week or two went by, or 3 weeks, both of the types of females that I drive, and, I deal with psychic readings and are with me and all, tell me that they met the hypnotist and he's going to come into the bar. And they want me to meet him because they told him all about me and my psychic abilities and my readings and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I said, okay, yeah, no problem. I would love to meet him. So at this time, it's about maybe 2 weeks before Christmas. So about a month before I met him after they told me and everything. And then he comes into the bar and I meet him and we shake hands. And you got to understand, as soon as I touch somebody, I see things. There's nothing I can do about it. In fact, I used to use it for safety reasons because in the bars that I deal with, it's sometimes very dangerous. So I'll shake a person's hands to find out their intent and what's going to happen and things like that. So it's kind of a safety mechanism. It's like this superhero where his vibes would go up, or he could shoot these webs and stuff like that. I can't shoot webs. But he would know when danger was alerted. But he didn't have to touch the person. I usually have to touch the person, which sucks. But anyway, so I meet him and I do a reading on him, and we won't go into the reading, but he was amazed by it, and he said to me, he goes, "You should teach this in college." I said, "Buddy, you know what? My life is so good right now. I don't feel like going on top of a stage and teaching kids this kind of thing. Plus, I really don't know how I do it. So how am I going to teach these people how to do something I don't know how I do?" And he found that funny, and he found that kind of ridiculous. And he tried to figure out how I do what I do. He won't be the first time. I've had psychiatrists, doctors, friends, all kinds of people try to figure out how I do what I do. I don't know how I do it. But anyway, he tried to teach me about hypnotism. And I started to learn a little bit about it. He says you just need some type of focus for the person, so the person can focus on something. While they're focusing on this thing that you have, a pendulum swinging back and forth, or a time clock thing going back and forth, or even a watch with a loud clicking sound to it. They're focused on this. And then you try to get them to calm down to the best of your ability. They also have to trust you. And you get them to calm down as best as you can, and you get them to get sleepy into not a REM sleep, but just before you fall asleep. And then you put mind suggestions in there. And you do it a lot of times. Like you say it once, twice, 3, 4, 5. He said up to 7 times. And then you'll get them in a trance. And whatever it is you want the person to do or have them done, then it usually works. And then you tell them when I snap my fingers or I count to 3, some type of response to get them out of it. That's the basics of it, but there's more to it than that. But don't forget, this was 2014, near Christmas. Actually, I started to learn this in 2015, actually, because he says it's going to take some time, and he wanted me to do readings on some of his family members and stuff like that. So we traded abilities, my readings, for his hypnotist abilities, which he said a lot of people could be hypnotists if they have the confidence and also the will and the understanding, and that it is possible. Yeah, a lot of other things he said too that I can't remember right now. I'm sorry. But anyway, my first attempt was one of the females that I drive. She was a heavy smoker. And she said to me, she goes, I would like to quit smoking. Can you hypnotize me into doing this? Because at that time, after the hypnotist stuck around for about 3 or 4 months in 2015, and then he was doing shows on the road and everything. And so he left, and I started doing this hypnotist thing. Now, mind you, he didn't leave a lot of instructions on exactly how to do it for something good for a person, actually. Because I figured out that sometimes things don't go exactly as you planned. And that's what happened with this young lady. So I did the thing that with the hypnotist on her, and I says, when you stop smoking. He also says you have to replace something with something else. So if you're getting a person to stop smoking, there's something else that has to replace that, or else there'll be a void. And he does that in his shows too. You just don't realize that he's replacing it with something. But in this case, I got to tell the person we're replacing this with something else. So I told her, instead of wanting a cigarette, we're going to replace it with having a chocolate bar or a candy of some sort. And I finished it and everything seemed well. And the first day was great. She said, "Great, I'm not smoking. Every time I feel like a cigarette, I grab a candy or a bar or a chocolate bar or something like that, something to eat." And so this went on for about a month, and she started gaining weight, but she wasn't smoking. But she goes, the trade-off. She goes, "I don't understand. I'm getting weight. I'm always hungry." And I'm thinking, oh no, this is because I replaced the smoking with something to eat, like a chocolate bar or a candy. So I had to re-hypnotize her, and I had to bring the smoking back. But instead of smoking so much, I got it to be, you're going to want a cigarette every 10 to 12 hours. And then that seemed to work. And I don't know if she's still smoking today, but it would be 10 to 12 hours. And that's how I finished off with that person. And I thought perhaps this hypnotist thing is a little bit too powerful for me to do with people. So I decided that would be the last time I'm going to do it, finding a very big complication. Unless I become a genius and I know exactly what to do with it in order to achieve the goals I need to achieve with the people who are asking me things for. Yeah, that's my hypnotist story. And I haven't seen that person, since 2015. Yeah, I think he still does shows. He's around my age. And he was a really nice person. Yeah, very pleasant. I noticed that about him. And the young lady that I did this on, she was actually very grateful. And she kind of didn't believe in hypnotism either. So I thought it was a goal that I achieved regardless. Thank you. Bye. Birdy signing off.